Yo, what's up, guys? Good evening. What's going on out there? How's everybody doing? A lot of bitching and moaning going on today, guys. A lot of bitching and moaning in the comment section. A lot of negative Nancy's. How's everybody doing? Guys, as always, make sure you hit the like and subscribe to the channel. Helps the channel grow. Costs you absolutely nothing. So bring some good karma into your life by doing something great for somebody else. That costs you nothing, by the way. Babes, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Pulse Playa, what's up, Jasmy LFG? Shay Boy, what's good, man? What's good? Shadow Lord, almost everything's at discount today. Great time to DCA before we take off from here. Yes, I did some DCAing about 45 minutes before this live stream. So I sent out my buy alerts. Metal Detecting England, yo, hello all. Hope all is well. Are we still bullish on XCN at 5 cents soon? I hope. Yeah, 100%. Green Tea, what's up? What's going on? No pissing and moaning from me. I've been buying. Yeah, me too, brother. But there's always this there's always like this odd person that's never been in a live chat or anything, and they start bitching about something and like as though I am some sort of physical manifestation of the market that they can bitch at because the market's not going the way they want it to. It's completely psychotic, but it doesn't really bother me. I just mute them, right? Those are the people that are going to be exit liquidity, right? The ones who do that take their temper tantrums out in the comment section of videos and over on X. Those are the people that are exit liquidity, right? So we need them, right? We need them to continue being the way that they are so we can use them as exit liquidity. It's sad, but those people are the way they are and you can't change them. So you might as well, yeah, they bought a month ago. Yeah, exactly, right? Exactly, right? One person said it was ironic because I have an exit strategy. Yeah, because you shouldn't have an exit strategy, I guess. I don't know. You can't fix stupid, right? All right, what do we have? Jasmy just riding the bottom of this trend line right now. A little bit of a green candle. We are at 3 cents 045 right now. We had a close somewhere around that 3 cent level, so not bad. Still waiting for that leg down, guys. We are waiting for that leg to the downside. Chappie, what's up, whipping boy? Just chilling here. Stay strong for the long. Absolutely, brother. Yeah, I'm not phased, man. I'm not phased. It doesn't bother me. Bitchin' ran out of dry powder. Very, very fair. That's fair. That is fair. So Bitcoin sitting at 95,200 right now, guys. Is it a dead cat bounce? Is it the crypto future live stream effect? Look at this candle. Look at yesterday's candle, guys. That is a bullish candle, man. It went all the way down to 95K and then closed 89K, closed all the way back up at 94,500. That's a bullish candle. That's what you want to see. All that buying pressure right there. Boom. Wicked it all the way back up. And right now we're climbing while we're live streaming 95,258. Are we liquidating some of the longs? Let's go have a look at the liquidation levels and see if possibly or shorts, if we're liquidating some of the shorts here. Is that the plan? Is that what we're doing? Look at all those longs, guys. Oof. So the shorts are only really significant up to about $286 million. And that would go up to about $96,679. That would liquidate $289.89 million. So maybe we get a little bit of a squeeze up to about 96,600, maybe 96,700 before coming back down, because look at all these longs, guys. These people are about to get wrecked. Look at that. Just if Bitcoin drops down to $89,675, almost $1 billion in liquidations. There's your leg down right there. This is going to be your leg down to 85 to 88K right there. This short squeeze could bring us down that far, right? So stay tuned for that. I think what we're seeing right now, we could be seeing a little bit of a fake out, right? We're climbing up right now. This seems to me like classic manipulation. Look at this, right? We're forming a green candle. We have a whole crap load. I just showed you guys all, like, look at this. We're climbing 95,200. Okay. Let's go back and look at the longs again, right? Look at all these longs, right? Almost $1 billion. Like I said, if we drop down to 89,000, right? So I think that right now we're seeing a fake out. We're seeing a bit of a pump so that more people put in longs because they're like, oh, see, we're going up. And then boom, flushed, liquidate all these, almost $1 billion in liquidations. That's what's about to happen. That's my conspiracy theory. Let me know what you think about it, guys. Shane, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Ali, Lego. BTC is moving. Nice close above 94. Yep. That's the crypto future live stream effect, of course. Absolutely. CPI numbers this week. Yes, Wednesday. I believe Wednesday, right? Day after tomorrow. That's going to be a huge, huge day, man. People don't always realize how much you do for our community. I'll buy you a club soda at our millionaire meeting up someday. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. John, blessings, my brother. Keep shining, brother. I'll do my best, man. I do my best. I've been having a pretty good day. I hope you guys are having a good day as well. Yeah, I think we're going to get that liquidation, guys. This just seems too much like a trap. This is too obvious, right? This candle, yesterday's candle, or it closed earlier today, very bullish with that buy up, and now we're pumping up. Guys, I feel like this is a setup for people to put in more longs, and we're going to see over $1 billion in liquidations. We're going to see a long squeeze right to the downside. We will finally hit down into this range. I think that's what's happening. And as long as people continue, as long as the bulls continue to be greedy the way that they are, they just keep putting in leverage trading, and they just keep getting liquidated. And until they stop, this is going to keep happening, right? So yeah, we'll see what happens. But I think it's a trap. I think it's a bull trap. Beebs, Rob, do you think Proppy will do better in the next cycle? Great project. Yes, I do. I think it's going to have a lot of bear market coming up to be able to develop and grow as a project, develop maybe some partnerships and stuff. I think throughout the next bear market, if they continue to do that, then I think it's going to be phenomenal. Absolutely. All right, let's get into some of the news. Charles Hoskinson, President-elect Donald Trump is creating a 24-person crypto council to shape the digital future. Check this out, guys. Trump is making moves.
Anytime there's a presidential transition, it's a very complex affair. And actually, the Treasury Secretary has yet to be selected, and they're kind of winnowing down. So that sets all crypto policy. So right now, most of the discussions are with the legislative branch. I'm having dinner tomorrow with Senator Scott. I've talked to numerous senators who are in the banking sector, basically figuring out how the regulation is going to work. And we've had some discussions with people transition team about what they want to do with a crypto committee, and if it's going to be a czar or if it's a commission, and what exact powers and how exactly does that work. And it's not exactly clear in how it's set up on the executive side, but on the legislative side, it's very clear what they want is to pass a law. So there were several attempts already in 2023. FIT 21 was the most successful, which passed the House, but it did not enter the Senate. And in the Senate, there was a bill in 2022 called FIA that was by Senator Lummis and Senator Gillibrand. So right now, there's some reconciliation of what does the executive branch want, what does the legislative branch want. What we've been told by the executive branch is Trump has a mandate that he wants America to be the #1 place to found and run a cryptocurrency business. There were also several campaign promises they're trying to connect to, for example, the strategic reserve for Bitcoin concept that also Senator Lummis is a big fan of. And there's a lot of things around asset classification that have to get resolved. The security commodity debate and what power should be reserved for the CFTC and the SEC. So it's still very early days, and we'll know a lot more in 60 to 90 days about how much level of broad industry participation is going to occur at the executive branch side. But we're already in talks with many people on the legislative side, and they're going to move forward as a co-equal branch of government with or without the executive branch to pass a law.
Trump's following through, guys. He is following through. You love to see that. Mega bullish. Beebs, one thing about Trump, if he tells you that he's going to do something, he follows through with it. 100%, man, 100%. Bitcoin will be one of the top performing assets this year. You're getting a big opportunity to buy, says Tom Lee.
What is the movement in Bitcoin, Stadium? So we're at 91,000. What is that? What is that a signal or a sign of anything in this sort of analysis?
Stupid Fed.
Yeah.
It's not cutting.
Yeah, Bitcoin's down roughly 15% from its highs, which for a hyper-volatile asset is a pretty normal correction. And it is slightly following global liquidity, but we're pretty early in this halving cycle. So to me, I think Bitcoin in the near term, again, our technician thinks 70,000 is where we can sort of make a stand. Means you're getting a big opportunity because I think Bitcoin's going to be one of the best performing assets.
So hold on, but you still think it goes all the way down to 70,000, or you think that's the floor, in which case you would still buy at this price?
Yeah, so there's Fibonacci's. So one level would be 70.
Let's say that again.
There's retracement levels. So you pull back from where you rallied.
Right.
So 70 is one level. It could go to as low as the 50s. But that's, again, not a new level. It's just where it touches before it begins to rally.
Okay, let me ask you a different question. For those folks who are watching who are not in Bitcoin or are thinking about buying Bitcoin at these prices, are you saying that this is a fair and good price to get in, or are you saying wait because you think it's going farther down?
You know, Bitcoin is something you need to be long-term focused. I don't think anyone's going to lose money buying here at 90. If they're trying to time this, maybe they'll get lucky and it goes to 70. But to me, Bitcoin could be significantly higher this year, you know, maybe 200, 250. So I think 90 is still a good entry point.
Agreed. 100%. 100%. Tom Lee, pretty good, guys. Pretty good. Bruno, good evening, man. Appreciate your consistent updates on the crypto market. Hey, brother, I appreciate you supporting the channel, man. That's what I appreciate. Falling wedge and RSI signal bullish reversal. Altcoin market breakout. Altcoin markets, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, exhibit bullish signs, suggesting a potential breakout. Analyst Mustache highlights patterns in the 4-hour price analysis. The price action shows a falling wedge pattern coupled with an inverse head and shoulders formation. Both are strong indicators of a bullish reversal. Converging downward sloping trend lines forming the falling wedge pattern indicate waning negative momentum. The bullish prognosis is further supported by the inverse head and shoulders pattern, which consists of 3 throws. You guys know what a head and shoulders pattern is. I don't need to tell you that. The relative strength index further supports the bullish case. The RSI values below 30 indicates an oversold market. However, the rising throws amidst lower price lows hint at bullish divergence. This divergence suggests waning bearish pressure and an impending reversal. The combination of these technical indicators strengthens the probability of an upward momentum. Besides, the alignment between the RSI and the price action reflects increasing buyer interest. Hence, the recent breakout above the neckline signals a strong bullish trend reversal. Moreover, the chart's smaller diagram illustrates the falling wedge and inverse head and shoulders patterns for better clarity. These patterns are well regarded in technical analysis as reliable reversal signals. Consequently, the breakout could be the start of an upward trend. The convergence of these patterns builds market confidence and could attract fresh inflows. However, traders should monitor the neckline and upper wedge for sustained support. A retest of these levels may provide additional buying opportunities. Additionally, if momentum persists, the altcoin market could set new highs, leaving bearish momentum in the dust, baby, in the dust. All right, what else do we have? Ba-ba-da-ba-da. Check it out. Beebs, Bitcoin 200 to 250K. If that happens, a lot of altcoins will print a lot of millionaires. My target is 150K-ish, maybe 180 on a wick. That's what I'm thinking. And I think we pull back. Bitcoin pulls back to the bottom of the bear market somewhere around $40,000 to $50,000 at the bottom. Those are my targets. We're cautiously optimistic about the economic outlook, says JP Morgan's Santos.
Gabriel Santos, Chief Market Strategist for the Americas JP Morgan Asset Management. What is going on?
So I think it's a continuation of some of the repricing that we've been seeing for about 5 weeks now. And I do think you're absolutely right. It's very much being driven by a shift higher in yields along the curve. But I think most importantly, in 10-year yields and in specifically real yields. So I don't buy that this is all about higher inflation expectations or reset in Fed expectations. I think it's very much driven by uncertainty in a different part of DC. So really, I think we're all bracing for a week from now, after the inauguration, the flurry of information we're going to get and how we can shape our expectations of economic forecasts and risk premium from here on out. And that, of course, reprices assets across the board.
Okay, and so what's the full reprice look like? And when's that happening?
So I do think it's already happening, right? If you look at just the S&P 500, maybe you'll miss it. It's off 4% all-time highs. But the median stock is now down about 15% from its 2024 high. So I do think there's already a bit of repricing and understanding that it's not all good, it's not all bad coming out of DC. It's going to take us a little while to figure out how it nets out for different companies and the scale, the scope, the sequencing of policy. What, of course, hasn't fully repriced is more of your mega cap tech, your more high valuation, high expectation kind of sectors. And that, of course, could drive a bigger repricing in the index overall, given it's 40% now of the index.
I know that what you do and Jamie Dimon does don't always correlate exactly, but we were commenting on this interview that he did on CBS over the weekend where he
got a little bit of crazy in her eyes.
Cautiously pessimistic as opposed to cautiously optimistic. Do you have the same view?
I would say we're cautiously optimistic about the economic outlook. I think cyclically, really last year was a story of coming out of the cyclical storm, realizing corporate household balance sheets are doing fine. We're normalizing across a variety of indicators, the labor market, inflation. We're also cautiously optimistic about the long run outlook. Also, a big story last year was the improvement on the supply side and productivity reaching 2%. Where we're more cautiously.
Look at her eyes. I feel like if I was dating her and we were in an argument, she would totally punch me in the face.
I wouldn't say pessimistic, but the reason for caution, we think, is much more in portfolios. There is a cost to pay of very strong but very concentrated returns, which is when we speak to investors, you know, what was a 60-40 allocation is now a 75-25 allocation. What was 50-50 growth value is now 60-40. So there's a lot of a focus on previous winners, big recency bias, and that doesn't set you up for strong returns going forward.
Maybe a curveball, maybe not, because it's obviously in the headlines. Does what's happening in Los Angeles, do you think, have any meaningful impact on GDP over the next several quarters, if not longer? And by the way, you could argue it could have a big impact in a good way, insofar as all of a sudden there's going to have to be an enormous amount of spending, but there could also be losses. So.
Of course. And you see that with natural disasters, right? There's a temporary, at times negative effect, which is made up later as there's rebuilding that takes place, and then it just nets out over time. But I do think it brings up a really important point around when we speak to clients about inflation. You know, we speak about it in economic and market terms year over year. Yes, it's normalizing. But there's a cost there around auto insurance, home insurance, which is not just about California, right? It's about a lot of states in the country. And I think that explains a lot more of the malaise, the frustration about the current costs and about the current economy. That's not just reflected in, of course, how we think about it as economists or investors.
What do you think, just so I understand, what do you think's happened in the last 5 weeks? Meaning, why do you think that the sort of mind shift has changed? Everybody, was in this, I don't know if it was a Trump trade, I don't know what you think it was, but November, December, it was like, we are off to the races. And then everybody went for the holidays and decided, or maybe even before the holidays, decided maybe not.
Yeah, really before the holidays, right? So we started pricing in the Republican sweep mid-September. So there was quite a long period there. And then you started getting to December, you start getting into the weeds of the details. Right? So what exactly is going to be the sequencing of policy? How is that going to net out as, is it going to be a net positive, net negative for different assets? And I think for equity specifically, right, there was much more of a focus on the positive aspects and now much more of a recalibration, which can continue this week. On Friday, we're going to get the new CBO forecasts around the deficit and debt projections. And I think that's really what's driving this 80 basis point rise in real yields since early December. And just based on current policy, the deficit is set to rise to 7.5%. And then we still have to factor in the discussions that will start taking place next week and for the rest of the year.
What do you guys think? Will we see a 10% correction across the markets after the inauguration? Or will we see moonshots? All right, Hong Kong-based company Ming Xing Group bought 500 Bitcoin for $47 million today, guys. They continue to buy the dip. These big companies, why would they continue to buy if we were going down, right? Also, MicroStrategy bought another 2,530 Bitcoin as well for $243 million, bringing their total holdings to 450,000 Bitcoin. Why would they be buying like this if we were heading to the bottom? Rect Capital says Bitcoin needs a daily close above $91,000 if the price wants to preserve both $91,000 and $101,000 range. We did get that, so that's very, very bullish. We got to close around 95,000. What else do we have? The U.S. government Silk Road wallet, they sent a second transaction from their wallet, approximately $6.33. So we know a few days ago they sent a transfer of 51 cents worth of Bitcoin as a test transaction, and now they sent another $6.33 as another test transaction. Is the U.S. government just trying to spook us, or are they going to sell their Silk Road Bitcoin? What do you guys think? Why would they be doing these test transfers if they didn't plan on selling? Unless they're just like faking on us, right? What am I doing? What am I doing? What else do we have, guys? What else do we have? More bullish sentiment. Check this out. Corporate demand for Bitcoin is already outpacing the new Bitcoin supply this year. So far this year, the Bitcoin corporate holdings have shot up to 5,774, and the amount of BTC produced is 5,469. So imagine this correlation over 13 days. Imagine this over 11 and a half more months, right? The supply and demand factor is coming into play very, very bigly this year. And here's a little something from Gare Bear himself. He says, tomorrow I will be on CNBC at 8 a.m. And on Yahoo Finance at 3 p.m. So we will have some clips from Gary Gensler making a fool of himself again tomorrow on national television. Meal Master, what's up, man? January 20th. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. What else do we have? 11.5 trillion. BlackRock says that Bitcoin and crypto adoption is outpacing the internet and mobile phones. If that doesn't make you bullish, guys, you're tripping, right? You're tripping. Straight up, man. Also, we have this, more bullish news. The bullish news just keeps coming, guys. Donald Trump is expected to issue an executive order on the first day of his presidency regarding Bitcoin and crypto, as per the Washington Post, as you can see right here. Early wins, Washington Post. Sachs and members of the Trump transition team have been working closely with crypto leaders to finalize a legislative strategy, and Trump is expected to issue executive orders on the first day of his presidency that may address issues including debanking and the repeal of the controversial crypto accounting policy requiring banks holding digital assets to count them as liabilities on the bank's own balance sheets, according to a person involved with the conversation. Trump is already on day one making moves to support crypto adoption, you guys. Also, just in, what do we have? Look at this ugly guy. What's going on? Meta's board has been advised to invest part of its $72 billion in liquid assets into Bitcoin as a hedge against dollar devaluation. This is going to be massive if Meta does this, guys. Absolutely massive. Do not undershoot how big that is going to be. What else do we have? Ron Paul says Bitcoin shouldn't be regulated by the government and it shouldn't be taxed.
Can you discuss your thoughts on Bitcoin and government's role in regulation of it?
Well, the government should keep their nose out of it. They can, state officials can become involved if somebody commits fraud. So it shouldn't be regulated by the government, and it shouldn't be taxed. One of the reasons I've been associated with cryptocurrencies has been because I've had legislation introduced for many years for competing currencies, believing that the dollar is in big trouble. And even today, and what's going on in Russia, the dollar is under attack and it's going to get a lot worse. So people are looking for options. Hayek, the great Austrian economist, advised competing currencies using a basket of commodities, other things. I want the market to make the determination. We should legalize competition, not only for us to have competition, but we need the right to compete with our own government. Governments, though, it's not the U.S. government, it's not new, it's the historic absolute of all governments having money as a total monopoly. And they do not want to be challenged, because if you can create the money, you're a very, very powerful people. And that, of course, is why, since we've had a fiat currency since 1971, and it's a world currency, it's big time, big business, but it's also going to be a big time collapse when that happens. So the fact that the IRS comes along and said that we're going to tax Bitcoin, their declaration is, it's not a currency, and I'm not even convinced that it's a real currency, but it can be a substitute for transferring funds, and that should be legal. But the tax on here, of course, I don't like taxes. They don't need more taxes. I'm not for any new taxes. I certainly don't want to tax something that's trying to compete, with the government. So, but the taxes is to make the declaration, our monopoly will stay in place. The strangest thing about our government not wanting any competition is if you take out an old silver dollar that might be worth $25, and you and I have a $25 transaction, and it's been on the books that gold and silver is legal tender, and it says $25, it says $1. Can't we do that? No, you go to prison for those kind of things, because you have to use not silver and gold or a legal tender coin that the government makes. You have to use a paper currency, which has nothing to do. It's a note. It's a debt instrument, and we are forced and compelled to use as money. So taxing Bitcoin is wrong.
Yes, taxing Bitcoin is wrong. I agree. Ooh, look at all these guys. Even more longs just got put in. Look at this now. It's over $1 billion now. If we just sweep the lows at $89,630, $1 billion in longs will get liquidated. I think this is a trap. I think this is a big trap, you guys. We're about to see $1 billion probably tonight probably tonight, we'll see this get liquidated. I wouldn't be shocked. I would not be shocked, right? So yeah. So anyway, guys, listen, that's the news. That's the chat. I will be live over on the Patreon in about 15 minutes, guys. Get over there. Don't miss it. We do a live group video call. You don't want to miss it. It's amazing. They're popular. You can see and hear everybody else in the community. We joke, we laugh, we learn about crypto. It's a fantastic time. You can also schedule one-on-one coaching AMAs with me personally, and we can design an exit strategy for you to make sure you're getting out of this market with your profits intact. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. I will see you guys over on the Patreon live in about 15 minutes.